Alright, now I've got the bridge back into place here. I'm trying to decide whether I want to cut the rails down using the Dremel moto tool and the cutoff disc, or use the rail nipper. And I'm almost leaning towards the rail nipper because that'll give me a little bit more control. I can do it a bit more incrementally because I don't want to cut it too short and leave too big of a gap, but I don't want to not have any gap at all to accommodate for any expansion that I have. And the layout does expand. I'm actually thinking of investing in a dehumidifier in the basement to keep the humidity levels down, because air's drier in the house during the winter, and during the summer it does expand to make this a lot tighter. So, but alright, let me go. I'll use a rail nipper. Give me more control and get my fingers out of the way. Yee! Well, let me do this. Go try to cut it perpendicular, parallel to the edge here, because that's how I originally cut it with the Dremel moto tool. Alright, let's see what I got here. Nip. Ooh, a little bit more, about maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Let's do this. Oh yeah, that's about where I want to be. Get my hands out of the way. Oof. That's the one hazard of this working with small confines here, is get my hands always in the way. There. That's probably the amount of gap I want to have. Hopefully you can see. I don't want any more than that. Yeah, I think I'm bending this track a little too much, so it'll be a little bit closer, but that's kind of where you want to be. Maybe slightly less than a 1/16 of an inch. Move this in closer. Let's move this in closer. Oh, it's not going to go any closer. Nuts. Alright. There. Yeah, probably more like a 32nd of an inch. Between a 32nd and a 1/16. And let me go do the other one. I'm going to cut that down. It's going to need maybe about a 1/16 of an inch taken off. Oof. Sorry about that. Try to get my hands out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. That's kind of a challenge. Tiny bit. Oh yeah, that's where I want to be. That's it. Okay, here we go. Alright. That's pretty much where I want to be. Alright, now I'm going to, before I caulk this down, I'm actually going to use PC tie, use a track fastening brad, and what I'm going to do is take a drill bit in my Dremel moto tool, and the diameter of the bit is going to be slightly larger than the diameter of the brad, because I don't want the brad pulling the PC tie down into the cork and causing a kink, because I want this to be fairly level. So I just want this to be in there snug so it holds it in place, but not actually drag the tie down, pull it down. So that's what I'm going to do there. Let me scratch. Just scratch in there. Mark the outside of the rail. Do it on the other side, like that. All right. And let me pull this track out of the way. All right. Let me get myself set up with my Dremel tool. I'll be back. Alright, what I've got in my Dremel here is a number 58 wire gauge bit, It is the number 58 wire gauge bit. Diameter is slightly larger than the diameter of this, if I got it, of this track brad. I don't know if I can show a good side-by-side comparison. There we go. This is actually, I believe it's a Atlas track brad, if I remember correctly. Atlas track nail. It's been so long since I bought these, but so I'm just gonna drill a hole just through the thickness of the PC tie. I don't want to go any further because of course I want the brad to be able to grip into the wood. So let's go here. There we go. And fits in there very nicely. Oops, hand out of the way. I should have someone down here just to slap me for doing that. Okay, fits in there. Nice. Okay. Not snug at all. Going nicely. So, let me get my hammer out. And hammer these down. Tap them gently. Let me move the bridge out of the way quick. I want to ding up the track. Oh. All right, let's go. And I don't want to go down all the way. Oops, I may have had a hole there. Fell into a hole already. Okay, there we go. That one's down. This one's down. I don't want to do too much and have this bow down. Okay, that looks nice. Okay. Yeah, that looks nice. Alright, that'll keep in place. So, now comes maybe a slightly, hopefully not too challenging part. I'm actually ready to solder these in place. Okay, because now actually solder and caulk this track in place. Put some weights on it, and let it dry. So, let me put the bridge back.